Weeks later, the war ends. The soldiers move on, the raids stop. Clara rebuilds the ranch, alone again but stronger. She names her boy Daniel Keaton Whitmore, in memory of both men who shaped her life. Years pass. Her son grows tall with his father's eyes and Keaton's quiet soul. When strangers ask who the boy's father was, Clara smiles softly and says, "His father was the last Apache, but his name lives on in every sunrise that touches this land." One night, her grown son finds an arrow wedged in an old oak by the creek, carved with the symbol Keaton once showed her. She realizes he never truly died. He had become part of the land he loved and watching, protecting, forever bound to them. As the wind hums through the canyon, Clara whispers, "You needed a son, and I needed a reason to live. We gave each other both." The story closes on that haunting echo, a love born of survival, sanctified by legacy. A month later, Clara wakes to the sound of gunfire. The soldiers return, this time led by the same Sheriff Deacon who betrays her, claiming she's harboring the Apache devil. Keaton escapes into the hills, but Clara is taken to town for questioning, her baby nearly seized. Under threat, she refuses to confess. But Deacon, greedy for her ranch, sets a trap. They'll hang her at dawn and take the child to an orphanage. Before sunrise, a shadow moves through the mist. Keaton returns, alone against many. He rides like vengeance reborn, silent and swift. One by one, he frees the captives, cuts Clara's rope, and places her baby in her arms. They flee into the desert, pursued by soldiers. When they reach the high cliffs, Keaton stands his ground. He knows they can't both run. He turns to Clara, touches her baby's forehead, and says, "He has your courage, and my name. If I fall, he will live as Keaton's son." Tears blur Clara's sight as she rides away. Gunshots echo behind her, and then silence. Keaton heals slowly in Clara's barn, living hidden from the soldiers' eyes. The days stretch into uneasy companionship. He helps mend fences, hunts small game, and brings her water from a hidden spring deep in the hills, one only he knows. As they share food and silence, something wordless begins to grow. Keaton teaches Clara to track footprints, read the wind, and find strength in quiet. She teaches him to read words from Daniel's old Bible, though he says his gods live in the earth, not in books. But peace is fragile. Soldiers patrol closer each day. One evening, they stop at her ranch. The lieutenant questions her sharply. "You seen any Apache around here?" She lies. Keaton hides behind the loft wall above her head. Her heart pounds as boots stomp below. When they leave, she finds her hands trembling. And Keaton watching her. He touches her cheek lightly, as if in thanks. But she feels the electricity of something deeper. The walls between them blur. Grief, loneliness, and gratitude melt into forbidden tenderness. Later that night, as rain finally falls on the dry soil, she hears him whisper outside, "When the land drinks again, so shall our hearts." Clara realizes she's falling in love with a man who belongs to a vanishing world, and who may soon die if caught. A week later, Clara rides into the nearby trading post with her baby. The settlers avoid her. Whispers follow. She's next. Rumor claims the lone Apache is haunting her land, and no man dares help a woman marked by him. At the edge of town, she meets Sheriff Deacon, who tells her to sell her ranch and leave before the Apache takes it all. But Clara refuses. That ranch was Daniel's dream. Her child deserves a home, a name, a future. That night, as a sandstorm rolls over the valley, she finds her barn door swinging open. Someone's inside. She raises her rifle and finds Keaton, wounded, blood on his shoulder. Before she can scream, he collapses. Clara's heart races. She should let him die, but something inside her hesitates. She binds his wound, leaves him water, and waits. When he wakes, his gaze goes first to her child in the cradle by the hearth. "You have no one," he says quietly, "and I have no son to carry my name. You need a father for your baby. I need a son to inherit mine." The words are like thunder in the silence. Clara's breath catches. She doesn't know if it's a threat or a vow. He explains that his clan was wiped out by both soldiers and rival tribes. He roams alone now, the last of the Keaton bloodline. If his name dies with him, his people vanish forever. Clara is torn between fear and fascination. Why would a man like him want to tie himself to a white woman, a widow with a child not his own? But something in his tone feels sacred, not selfish. When soldiers arrive days later to hunt the Apache rumored nearby, Clara must make a choice: turn him in to protect herself, or hide him to repay the life he once spared. She chooses to hide him, and that choice changes everything. The story opens in the harsh Arizona Territory, 1878. I, Clara Whitmore, a young widow with a newborn son, live on the edge of a dry valley that once promised prosperity. My husband Daniel, a ranch hand, was killed when raiders attacked a cattle drive 6 months ago. Since then, I've struggled to keep the small homestead alive while feeding my baby. The drought has turned the land brittle. The well has dried to mud. The neighbors avoid me, a lone woman with a child, considered bad luck since death lingers around my home. Rumors spread through the settlements. The lone Apache, a mysterious warrior named Kiatan, roams these lands. He's neither fully embraced by his people nor accepted by the whites. They say he's the last of his clan, proud, feared, and silent. To most settlers, he's a ghost of vengeance. To me, he's a warning told in whispers. One night, my horse returns to the barn without its rider. My last hand, an older ranch helper, never comes back. The next morning, I find his hat torn near the riverbank, and Apache tracks beside it. I gather my baby, clutching the small rifle Daniel left behind. I'm terrified but determined. I will not lose my son, not my land. I ride to the creek at dawn to see if water still runs, but as I approach, I find the lone Apache kneeling beside my fallen hand's body, giving him a burial prayer. He looks up, eyes unreadable. Neither enemy nor friend. "Why do you help bury the man you killed?" I demand. He stands silently, then says, "He died protecting your land. From thieves who came before me." He walks away into the mesquite shadows, leaving me shaken. Who is he really? A killer or a guardian? That night I realize the tracks near my home aren't to harm.